Please come to order. Good morning. Welcome to the Commissioner of St. Mary's County meeting this date, Tuesday, November 15th, 2022. I am Randy Guy, Commissioner President, St. Mary's County. I'd like to introduce the other commissioners. Sitting to my right, representing the 1st Commissioner District, which includes Ridge, Piney Point, St. George Island, Mr. Eric Colvin.
Good morning.
Representing the 2nd Commissioner District, which includes Leonardtown and Hollywood, Mr. Mike Hewitt.
Good morning.
Sitting to my left, representing the 3rd Commissioner District, which includes Charlotte Hall, 7th District, Golden Beach, and Mechanicsville, Mr. John O'Connor.
Good morning.
Representing the 4th Commissioner District, which includes Lexington Park, some of California, Great Mills, and some of Hollywood, Mr. Todd Morgan. David Weiskopf, our interim county administrator, is unable to be here today, so sitting at the table to my left is Catherine Pratston, the Director of Human Resources.
Good morning.
Alex Huseman, our communications coordinator, is sitting at the table to my right.
Morning.
Amy Carter, our video media producer, is behind the glass. Please turn your cell phones off or on vibrate. When you come to the presenter's table, please come down the center aisle. And remember, this meeting is being televised, so you need to speak clearly and directly into the microphone for recording purposes. At this time, please stand for the invocation and pledge by Commissioner Colvin.
Lord God Almighty, we come to you this morning with gratitude. Gratitude for our veterans, gratitude for free elections, gratitude for the opportunity to serve, and for the county that we love and the people that we work for, and gratitude for this day that you have given us. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Colvin.
Thank you.
At this time, we need the approval of the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
I have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. We now go into a presentation. We have our Citizens Academy graduates, and we want to recognize all of you today. We thank you for attending and learning something about county government, and hopefully this will influence you to, if you're not on boards by now, join one of our boards, and maybe in the future run for public office. So at this time, we're going to start the presentation.
Please, yeah, please. And thank you, Commissioner Guy, and thank you on behalf of the county employees, of the commissioners, and of the county administrator. We really appreciate your interest in our operations and hope it was a successful and fruitful experience for you. And without further delay, I'm going to call your names and ask you to please come up to be recognized by the commissioners, and then to please remain standing for photo opportunities. And thank you again for your interest in our operations and for joining us today. Janet Bello. Yeah. Kelly Bridges.
Thank you very much for participating.
Kelly Bridges. Oh, okay. Sherry Brown. Caitlin Freyer. Not here, okay. Sylvia. Not here as well, okay. Gretchen Hardman.
Thank you. I hope you know something about our county.
Yeah. Is Rowena here? I'm sorry, I missed your name. Rowena Basio. Jeffrey Lewis.
Thank you for participation.
Celia Laughlin.
Thank you very much, Air Force veteran.
David McGowan. Jennifer Ostro.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Scott Ostro. Terry Rayleigh,
All right. Our newest county commissioner.
Thomas Ridley,
Thank you very much.
If you guys want to like scoot this way and pull for pictures.
Sierra Ringley,
Thank you very much.
Sue Shea, Dawn Spranger, Lawrence Stouffer, Amanda Wood,
Thank you. Thank you.
and Amelia Yunker. And just want to make sure we captured everybody? Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll go in the front. Okay.
That's a good shot.
If anyone wants to take pictures, you're welcome.
We get one more over here. Got it. Tighten up.
If you are calling, you also might want to go in the back.
The back. You know, you big guys. You big guys. Come up here. You're good.
We'll make sure you see everyone. No one's
You say patient, see. That's
all right. Everyone open that. Everyone can see me.
Can you get everybody? I can see you.
All right. Everyone smile. 1, 2, 3.
Great.
Great, thanks a lot.
I think we have proclamations.
Okay. Yeah, we got those. Who's got the block? Oh, we got them over there. Give them a cheat sheet. I got Great America.
The smokeout was first. Because you have Giving Tuesday?
Yeah. Got the Great America with that? Yeah.
Okay, today we have the Great American Smokeout Proclamation, and Catherine Prattson, Director of Human Resources, and Cynthia Tomlin. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Tomlinson. Thank you. Thank you. Whereas the Commissioners of St. Mary's County encourage citizens to commit to or recommit to healthy, smoke-free lives by participating in the American Cancer Society's 47th Annual Great American Smokeout event. And whereas cigarette smoking remains a leading cause of preventable death and disease in the United States, leading to over 480,000 deaths, nearly 1 in 5, including an estimated 41,000 from secondhand smoke exposure each year, and more than 16 million Americans living with smoking-related disease. And whereas the most important thing smokers can do to improve their health is to quit smoking cigarettes and other forms of tobacco. And whereas quitting smoking improves health immediately and over the long term, and stopping smoking is difficult, and chances of success increase with assistance. And whereas the Commissioners encourage anyone in St. Mary's County who wishes to quit tobacco to take advantage of the many resources available, such as those through the St. Mary's County Health Department, including the Quit Tobacco page of their website and the free 8-week tobacco cessation classes, as well as the American Cancer Society's tools and resources. Now, therefore, we, the Commissioners of St. Mary's County, in partnership with the St. Mary's County Health Department and the American Cancer Society, do hereby proclaim November 17th, 2022, Great American Smokeout Day in St. Mary's County, and encourage all citizens to commit or recommit to their year-round smoke-free lives.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. And Cindy it runs our wellness and is our safety officer, and really appreciate how vibrant our wellness program is and supports employees in their journey to become tobacco-free. And one of the things that this Commissioner Board did was approve a tobacco-free campus, and that's just a significant improvement and a significant assistance to employee health and citizen health. So I want to thank you again for that. And we recognize that it is a journey, and we provide assistance to the community and to employees to try to achieve tobacco-free living. So, all right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How y'all doing? Yep.
We do. We're staying.
We now have a Giving Tuesday. I think Catherine Preston's, yeah, do that too. There you go, sir.
Thank you. All right, this proclamation is for Giving Tuesday. Whereas Giving Tuesday in St. Mary's County was established ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday to kick off the annual United Way and CHC Creating Healthier Communities Giving for St. Mary's County government employees, providing employees the opportunity to pledge via payroll deduction in the upcoming year. And whereas Giving Tuesday in St. Mary's County is an opportunity to encourage citizens and employees of St. Mary's County's government to serve others through this holiday season, including during the nationally recognized Day of Giving on the Tuesday after Thanksgiving and during other times of the year. And whereas employees demonstrated their commitment to our community by contributing more than $6,400 last year to the United Way of Southern Maryland and to the CHC Creating Healthier Communities. Employees who pledge to contribute $2 or more per pay period may participate in Blue Jeans Friday. And whereas it is fitting and proper on this day and every day to recognize the tremendous impact of philanthropy, volunteerism, and community service in St. Mary's County, now therefore we, the Commissioners of St. Mary's County, do hereby proclaim November 15, 2022 as Giving Tuesday in St. Mary's County and recognize the United Way of Southern Maryland and the CHC Creating Healthier Communities for impact on the health and well-being of the citizens of St. Mary's County and beyond, and encourage citizens of St. Mary's County to join together to give back to the community in any way that is personally meaningful. Thank you.
Well, thank you again, and I think it just underscores our approach to wellness is a holistic approach that includes social engagement, and this is an opportunity for our employees to get involved and support the community, and we are always humbled by the activity and the support within community members and from employees for social services and events like this, so thank you.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Oh, thank you.
Hold up, we got one other thing. No, the commissioner, I'll keep the commissioners up here.
Oh, okay.
We understand Mrs. O'Connor is in the audience. Would you please come forward? We're going to get a photo op picture of you with your son. I know he's on his last couple of meetings as county commissioner.
They're too far ahead for the public hearing, so you might want to suggest to him that he goes ahead and does me. We can't stop.
This is the first time my mom's been able to attend a meeting. She usually watches, and she's here celebrating with Ms. Bello for the Citizens Academy. And Commissioner President Guy, thank you for this brief indulgence.
Be here again.
She's a big supporter of every commissioner that's up here, especially this guy right here. I was always somebody she can look up to. But I just want to say thank you, Mom, for all your support throughout the years and everything that you've done for me in the last 8 years and even bringing me up. And, you know, they've dealt with me for 8 years, and you've had me the entire life. So they already know what that means.
Good or bad, but anyway, don't say
So,
no comment.
no. All right, love you, Mom. Thank you.
Just save your picture, Mom.
I would like to thank you all for what you do for us. It's beyond words, and I learned more about community living in St. Mary's than I have anywhere else, and I want to tell you I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Great.
You too. Thank you.
Don't trip me.
Maybe we'll do some, yeah.
The main agenda item first? Okay, great, thank you.
We're a little bit early, a little early for our public hearing, so we're going to go into one of the agenda items. Ms. Pratson, you want to cover the first one?
Sure, we're going to go to the main agenda item and then hold the public hearing following that. And this is from the Office of the County Attorney for a decision regarding the St. Mary's County Public Ethics Ordinance, a revision/update. John Sterlinghauser, Joe Densford, and David Willenberg to present. And perhaps they're not here. They're not here, okay. Would you like to start with the county administrator
Sure.
items?
Yeah, go
And then
ahead.
we could
Yeah,
go
please.
back?
That'd be
Okay.
fine, yeah.
Okay. All right, the draft agendas for November 29th and December 6th. There will be no meeting of the commissioners on November 22nd. The Department of Finance and the Board of Education will present a request for approval of an FY23 restricted fund budget increase, Apprenticeship Maryland Land Program. Bonnie Kelly, Vocational Support Internship Liaison, is supposed to be here. Michael Egan, Tammy McCourt. They're not here. Okay. The next item, Department of Public Works and Transportation, STS Public Transportation Safety Plan, presented by Jim Gotch.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Glad you're here.
Got somebody here early, very good.
Later, I get to talk trash with you.
Love it.
All right, well, today, the first item that we have is the STS Public Transportation Agency Safety Plan. Each year, we need to review our safety plan, and then there's a document that we submit that's attached to your agenda that goes up to MTA. And what this is, it's, again, an annual review. Our submission, it includes our safety performance targets under the National Public Transportation Safety Plan, and we submit this to the FTA and the MTA. And the review is, or the plan is reviewed every time that we have an accident or an incident on the bus. This is the plan that we use to investigate the incidents. So each year, we have to submit at the end of November, so we're right at the submittal time, and then it's reviewed and finally approved at the end of December. So this is our yearly update. And our request today is for you to allow Commissioner Guy to sign the document so we can forward it up to to the MTA.
I move to approve the Public Transportation Agency Safety Plan and authorize the Commission President to sign all related documents.
Second, discussion, real quick. Mr. Gotch, our STS system is struggling recently just with hiring people, getting enough people to keep our routes running, and I think no better time highlights the importance of it than when people can't get the rides that they need, and just how much people have come to rely on it and need it to get to work, to get to doctor's appointments. And when we talk about safety, the safety also extends to the people who are waiting for the bus, and I know that communication needs to factor into that, and I know that you all are working on that. Is there anything you can comment about that, and just how we can be sure when routes are canceled, the citizens have the message out there?
Okay. I had sent a note, copied you guys, and to the county administrator, Dave Weiskopf, yesterday. We lost a couple of our full-time drivers, but we've been hiring. So the recruitment that we've been doing to bring in new drivers is working. We actually have a program where we'll train you. So if there's anybody out there that can drive a bus, come join us. And if you don't have a commercial driver's license in the passenger endorsement, we'll actually train you and get you up to speed. So we've got a few new guys starting. We've got a couple that have just recently left. I know some of the prices, some of the salaries are very competitive for someone with a commercial driver's license. So it's a struggle. What we've done in the past, so we have our bus routes. They start sometimes at 5 o'clock in the morning. So if I've got a full-time driver, you're not working your standard 8 to 5 job. So if you start at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're going to get off around mid-afternoon. So if I've got a second driver that starts running the afternoon and evening routes that's sick, in the past, if we didn't have a driver, that's when we run into problems. And then, so we might get somebody to work and can't get them home. And you guys have seen some of those complaints. I've had to catch an Uber ride to get home. That's not fair. I bought a monthly pass and I can't use it. So what we're doing is, while we're short on drivers and while we're hiring and training drivers, we're going to take one of the loops that has multiple buses on it. So you got 2 buses on the same loop at the same time. We're going to reduce that to 1 bus on the loop, and then we're going to have staff sitting in there so we won't lose any afternoon or evening bus routes. So if we take you to work, we're going to be able to bring you home. That's what we're planning on doing. Just the other day, you asked a question about safety as well. We had someone that, wanted to get off the bus, so pulled the cord, and the driver had asked, "Where are you going? Because this doesn't seem like a safe place for you to get off the bus." And they're saying, "I want to go across the street. I want to run across Route 5. And they said, no, let us take you there. I'm going to go around, come back, and I'll drop you off there." But still, the rider said, "No, I'm getting off here." So, we can try, and I know after the incident that happened earlier that we want to make an effort, and our drivers are doing that now, to make it safer for people to get on and off the bus. Right. And we're actually, the plan with State Highway to make the bus stop locations, State Highway's actually even contacted us back and said, when we're doing the intersection improvements at Route 5 and 246 down at Great Mills, where can we put your sign that will be good, a benefit when we are done with the road improvements? So we're making progress on that as well, getting the actual bus stops in place.
Okay.
I think your back's going to be up against the wall. Recently, numerous Beltway counties have, the charter form or executive governments have passed their own local laws to increase DPW and driver wages substantially. So you're going to start seeing an exodus towards those counties with the wages, which are essentially in some places doubling for the DPW as well as the drivers. So I think your back's going to be against the wall. But on the safety aspect, I wanted to tell you that STS has come up multiple times for the local government insurance trust. When you guys installed telematics, a lot of people didn't realize that we had telematics for so long on our buses that were identifying driver behavior and really reduced a lot of accidents, and also identified speed limit signs that were inappropriate in some locations and were fixed. So please reach out to them and let them know, because they're running pilot programs and there is grant funding available to help with telematics for the expansion of the program, but mostly to get the pat on the back and give them the data, because it's huge for them. And there's a massive push on telematics right now.
Awesome, thank you.
Mr. Gouch, tell me 2 quick questions. What is the investigation revealed about the incident where we lost a county resident to that Route 5? Have we, are you in a
I
position
don't
to
have
reveal any of that?
the final sheriff. I believe they closed the investigation. It was not a, we were on a southbound route.
Mr. Gotch.
Yes.
We've been advised by the county attorney not to speak about that incident at this time due to possible any type of pending litigation and/or investigative matters. So I would strongly caution against answering that question.
Again, I didn't get that notice, so I didn't know about that. Okay. Secondly, when can we expect bus stops to be installed?
The plan is bouncing back and forth between State Highway and St. Mary's County. I believe we've already contacted anything that's not on a state road to have our sign guys put them out there, and they said, I believe it was between Thanksgiving and Christmas, if I remember correctly, that the county road stops would start appearing, and the stops, like if we stop at the Target, we've been in contact with Target to put a sign up there as well.
Okay, what about the
private
physical,
businesses.
actual structures? We're going to put those places, aren't we?
Well, we want to get the bus stop signs in place. I don't know about the shelters. I can't give you an answer on that.
Next time you come, if we're on this topic, I'll ask you about that again.
Okay.
And Mr. Gutch, I will say that we recognize the shortage of bus drivers, because not only is it here, it's everywhere. Anybody who commutes back and forth to Washington knows the Keller bus services have kind of cut routes along the way because of lack of bus drivers, and we're not the only community trying to find drivers, but we can't find people who want to work. That's part A, and then B, some of the tests that they had, the rigor they have to go through, they just can't pass the initial test to get going. So I appreciate everything that you're doing, trying to make this better, but I hope the citizens understand we're doing everything we can. But you just can't pull this monkey out of the hat and say, okay, it's solved tomorrow.
And I know we're trying to, I saw an email yesterday from Ms. Swint, the Deputy Director of Transportation, to Amy Carter, actually asking for help for, we want to produce a video that says, hey, here's how to safely get on and get off the bus.
Good.
Very good.
Anything else, Commissioners? I got a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any disapproval? Ayes have it.
Thank you, Commissioner Guy, and perhaps you go back to the public hearing now that it's 9:30.
Okay.
All right, let me switch.
Okay, at this time, the public hearing, the Department of Public Works and Transportation, public hearing, comprehensive solid waste management and recycling plan update. Mr. Jim Gosch will be the Director of Department of Public Works Transportation, will be giving the briefing. Do you have any support people you want to call up, or you're on your own?
Okay, well, Carly Cushion. All right, I am the director, but I'm not the guy who put all this solid waste program together. So Carly is from MES, our contract provider, who actually is in charge of rewriting the program.
You want her to come up here and,
She's coming.
Carly, you want to come up to the table?
So anyhow, we hire out MES. They do a lot of our inspection work for us. and they're a quasi-governmental agency. And they put not only this plan together, but the one that we're currently operating under as well. So, and then also in the audience, we have Larry Foster and John Kay from Evergreen Disposal Company. The other day, you guys had mentioned that there's a transfer station that's going to be developed and constructed in Charlotte Hall to bring in new jobs into the county, and these are the guys. So they're sitting back there.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so our solid waste plan needs to be updated every 10 years. And we are actually at year 8, so we're a little bit early, I think year 7, actually. And we have to review the plan every 3 years. So I have to thank Mr. Dietrich, my predecessor, for getting this started, and Mr. Zirkin, our solid waste manager, who happens to be on vacation today, for actually doing this before they were, John retired and Nick is getting ready to retire next year. So I want to thank those guys for actually getting this started so it wasn't dumped on all the new guys. Okay, so this is per Title IX, Section 5, Section 9-503 of the Environmental Article, Annotated Code of Maryland is what requires us to update every 10 years. So we're at the point where we want to update the ordinance, and there's some things that have changed that we want to bring into the ordinance, and this is a good time to do it. So I think I'm going to shift to the PowerPoint and then go through the PowerPoint, and that will explain most of it to you. All right, can you hit the next one? So this replaces the plan that we have in place right now from 2016 to 25. It was adopted in 2015. Okay. That's a COMAR section. So our mission statements, we have one on recycling. We want to reuse, recycle, and reduce waste through recycling. And we'll talk a little bit more about the efficiency that we have in the county. We're meeting the goals by the state today. Once we cross the population of 150, we need to do better. And again, for our solid waste, to provide adequate facilities for safe handling, collection, and disposal of the solid waste. Okay. These are the plan goals that I read to you the last time. We want to assure the protection of public health. We want to conserve our natural resources. 3, encourage public involvement in solid waste management and planning issues, which is part of the reason we're here today. 4, implement the use of full cost accounting to determine the actual cost for the solid waste. And I've got some numbers in here today to show you what it really costs us. 5, to identify and establish markets for the reduction, reuse, and recycling. Again, we're going to talk about the metal recycling that we have. 6, facilitate a regional approach to solid waste management. I think Evergreen is going to help with that with the transfer facility. We're looking at long-term waste energy facilities, that sort of thing.
Just real quick, sorry to interrupt the presentation. This was the one question that I did want to ask. Under Goal 6, it says establish a Southern Maryland Solid Waste Authority. What would that look like? What would that be? Any idea?
Are you talking about facilitate a regional approach?
Yep. Under
Facilitate a regional approach to solid waste.
yes, objectives B, establish Southern Maryland Solid Waste Authority.
What page are you on?
I'm on page 1-14. I'll admit I did not read through the entire plan, but I went through most of it, and that's the one question.
Did.
Okay.
I cannot answer that, Carly.
Thankfully, it's just the public hearing, so we can follow up on it later.
Sure,
I'm just
sure, I
curious to
will.
know what that means and what that would look like.
Yeah, just by dumb luck, our solid waste manager,
Yep.
by the day, the hearing that was available today was the day that he is out of town, so.
Yeah, we'll follow up with Mr.
Okay.
Zirkin further on that.
Thank you.
And then number 7, provide safe, efficient, cost-effective, adequate solid waste services and the infrastructure to handle the solid waste. Okay.
Mr. Commissioner Golden, going back to your question, and some of the things I had heard about in the last few months, the regional approach is to try to find maybe a location in the southern Maryland area that would serve as a location for garbage versus having to drive it over the bridge to King George.
Okay.
And that's one of the things we're looking at our waste to energy. I have a slide in there that talks about that a little bit. Okay, so our existing landfill operations, actually putting trash in the landfill, ended in 2001. What we do is we collect the trash at 6 convenience centers. It gets hauled from the convenience centers back to the St. Andrews landfill, and then from there at the single site, we take it to wherever it's going. Most of our trash goes to Lorton, Virginia, to Covanta. It's a waste-to-energy facility. They burn the trash, and they convert it to energy. It costs us $99 a ton. The Calvert County, some of the special events we have, like Christmas in April, we give vouchers for people working on the houses to actually take the trash to the Appeal landfill, and that costs us $110 a ton when we do that. We take our tires, used tires. We just had a collection day for used tires and take those up to Baltimore, 2 different places. We have a single stream recycling. It goes to Hughesville, and then they transfer it up to Capitol Heights, and that is $215 a ton. So almost, well, a little more than twice the cost of actually handling the trash. So when we get to a higher population and we have to collect more recycling, it's going to cost us more money. So that's why we're looking at other programs like a waste to energy to actually drop our haul cost. And our commercial waste is not accepted at the landfill, so you have to go across the bridge to drop off commercial waste. Go ahead. I think we skipped one.
Sorry.
Okay, so the plan that you have, the booklet, it includes all kinds of waste: residential, commercial, industrial, institutional, all the hazardous waste, oil, antifreeze, petroleum, all those things are covered in this plan that we're getting ready to adopt. Also, the single stream recycling, that's what I was telling you about. We have to collect 20% of our trash has to be recycled. And right now we're at 31.5%. When we hit population 150,000, it goes to 35%.
I think one thing that you do, the citizens should recognize, is when you go to the transfer stations, how easy it is to walk 20 steps to recycle versus just staying there and dumping into the dumpster. And I almost would sort of encourage, the attendants, maybe if you see someone walking in with a truckload of cardboard, instead of just dumping in the dumpster, would you just please go over there and dump it in the other piece for us and make life so much easier?
And I've actually heard stories from our attendants asking people to do that.
And they get mad, they get yelled at. I understand, I've been there, I've witnessed it.
And we do put out a brochure each time when your tax bill comes out that says, hey, please recycle. This is what we accept. So look for that next time.
So I also commend you on the household hazardous chemical collection days. You do them twice a year, and they're huge. The line is always massive, and people have asked me, could we do it maybe quarterly, maybe more often? I know there's a cost that goes with that, but it's much better that people take their chemicals there than dumping it somewhere or just throwing it in with the trash. So
Okay.
they're really
I'll
successful.
ask that question.
Yeah.
All right, next. So we have many private haulers. We don't collect trash door to door. So we have convenience centers, but there's many, that's just a handful of names that we have in the county that goes door to door that you can hire. And one of the questions we get when people move in the county is, hey, when do you pick up trash? So we have a list of names on the website that we can refer them to that would do that, or here's our 6 convenience centers. We have a new state legislation. I don't know if you guys have been following that, but it deals with landfills. And they're passing a reduced methane release rate from landfills. We actually meet the standards of the new reduced methane. And obviously, it's going to be more paperwork, but we're still good under what the state's looking to pass. Okay. We have, this is our recycling programs. I'll leave it sitting there for a second. But I did want to mention scrap metal. So we collect scrap metal for a fee at the St. Andrews landfill. We have a pilot program that we have 2 transfer stations which have metal bins. You can actually drive to Ridge and Charlotte Hall, drop off metal for free. So what we've been doing is looking at pricing. What do we collect? Are we able to sell that as salvageable metal material and break even? Because we are an enterprise fund. We have to cover our costs for this, and it looks like we can do it. So we're looking to expand that to all the convenience centers.
Excellent.
And what we want to do next is composting and put that as a pilot program and see how much composted material we collect. Initially, we're going to have to haul it off to people that actually use the compost material, but we have to determine if we can find a market for it, and we're going to do the same thing we did with the scrap metal and put it in a couple of convenience centers and see how it goes. All right, go ahead. All right, so here's our long-term goals. We want to expand the recycling percentage. We've got to get up to that 35%. So we're going to look actually at the convenience center, see how much recycling is going in the trash, and see if we can't encourage people to pull that out of the trash and actually recycle. Again, the metal bins at all the convenience centers, composting. We'll have to haul to Prince George's County until we determine how much composting we actually get and what we find a use for it, how to get rid of it. Waste to energy facility. This is where we could really save some money. So you saw the fees were like $99 to haul. If we had a $60 a ton cost to burn the trash and convert it to energy, that would be a savings. We've got a commercial transfer station that's coming into Charlotte Hall. That would be an awesome place. But right now, we don't generate enough trash to actually do that. So we're in the 30,000 to 40,000 tons a year, and we need to be in the 100,000 to 200,000 ton range to make that work. So right now, waste to energy is not feasible. We looked at actually mining the landfill to generate additional trash in the meantime, and that's highly discouraged.
You'd break the cap to do that?
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
So they, the recommendation is do not mine your landfill. That would create more environmental problems than you would fix. And then also we're looking at renewable energy. We were holding off on doing anything with solar at the St. Andrews landfill on top of the caps. Instead of driving a post into the ground to mount the solar panels, you can actually have a flat plate on the ground so you don't penetrate the cap. And so now that mining the landfill does not look like it's feasible, we're transitioning to let's put some solar in that area and we can get right to the grid.
Good idea.
Okay, next. Okay, so here's the process where we are. We took this plan to the Commission on the Environment in August, and they had made some comments and suggestions, and we adopted some of those changes. We went to the Maryland Department of the Environment in August, and they have a letter that was included in your package that says, here's our comments we've addressed. At this time, we've addressed all those comments, so they're ready to approve this. We advertised in the Southern Maryland News October 28, November 4th for this public hearing. Today is the date of the public hearing, and then 2 weeks from now we'll come back for a decision. So if we need to make any changes to the plan, we'll do that in the time between now and when we come back to you. And that's what I have. That's all I have. Unless you have questions.
Any more questions? Ms. Cushing, do you have anything to add? Okay, good. If there are no questions, then Ms. Catherine Preston will now provide the format for the public hearing.
Thank you, Commissioner Guy. All speakers who wish to address the commissioners in person are asked to fill in the sign-up sheet located in the lobby. All speakers will be allotted 3 minutes to address the commissioners. At the end of the 3 minutes, our communications coordinator, Alex Huseman, will let you know your time has expired. We ask that you respect the 3-minute time limit in order to give all those who wish to participate an opportunity to be heard. This public hearing is being televised live on St. Mary's County Government TV 95 and the county's YouTube channel. If you should miss any part of this hearing, it will re-air on Channel 95 this Friday, November 18th at 6:30 p.m. and will remain available for on-demand viewing on the St. Mary's County Government YouTube channel. Citizens were provided an opportunity to address the commissioners via video submission, but since we did not receive any submissions, we will now begin accepting comments for those who have signed up to speak. Okay, and no one has signed up to speak, Commissioner Guy. Is there anyone in the audience who did not sign up who wishes to participate?
We have one gentleman raise his hand there.
Thank you, sir. If you please come forward to the microphone and state your name and your mailing address.
My name is Bill Fitzgerald. I'm a Fitzgerald Realty, and my address is 27601 Golden Beach Road, Charlotte Hall, Maryland. And I just wanted to thank the commissioners that helped to get this thing to fruition. Commissioner Connor, Commissioner Guy, and especially Commissioner Hewitt went to see what the concerns were about it being caught in the quagmire. And this is going to be such a good thing for the county regarding taxes, jobs, and things like that. And they do have a great facility that's planned, for up there. And so I just wanted to thank those involved. And that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Fitzgerald.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak?
Well, thank you, Ms. Catherine Preston, for your short briefing here. At this time, we will now close the public hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
And if you could please note that the public comment period will remain open for 7 days until close of business on November 22nd. Should the public wish to send an email, please use the csmc@stmaryscounty.maryland.gov or U.S. mail to P.O. Box 653, Leonardtown, Maryland, 20650.
Thank you. Okay, next we have the Office of the County Attorney decision, St. Mary's County Public Ethics Ordinance revision update. Mr. John Hauser, our County Attorney's Office.
Good morning, Commissioners. As Commissioner President Guy said, this agenda item is the final decision on the updates and the revisions to the St. Mary's County Ethics Ordinance. As I've said to the Commissioners in the briefings given, when we made the request for a public hearing and before the public hearing itself on October 25th, the changes being suggested or better word to use, required. Most of them stem from state legislation that passed in the 2021 general session, requiring updates to every local ethics ordinance. The letter that came from the state was accompanied by model language the State Ethics Commission suggested. That model language was dutifully incorporated. Beyond those changes, which are summarized in materials that were uploaded to board docs, there are also 3 changes being made locally beyond those. Those are minor updates to keep up with the changing nature of county government in the last year, and are the addition to membership on the Administrative Charging Committee and Police Accountability Board, the newly created position of Deputy County Administrator, and the newly recreated position of Deputy Director Emergency Services. That all of those positions are being added to those covered by the ethics ordinance. As the commissioners know, we went to public hearing on October 25th. No members of the public appeared to offer testimony on the proposed revisions. The period for public comments closed at midnight on November 1st. We received no written testimony or submission for incorporation as comments, and this is now ripe for final decision, and the county attorney's office requests that the county administrators recommend approval and adoption of these proposed updates. I'm available for any questions the commissioners might have before going to final decision.
I move to approve and adopt the proposed updates to the St. Mary's County Public Ethics Ordinance by repealing and replacing Chapter 158 of the Code of St. Mary's County, Maryland, the St. Mary's County Public Ethics Ordinance with the attached updated ordinance.
Second.
Have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any disapprovals? Ayes have it.
Thank you,
Ms.
Commissioners.
Alders. Thank you. Now I think we go right back to County Administrator time.
Thank you, Commissioner Guy. And if I could go back to the draft agendas for November 29th and December 6th. For Tuesday, November 29th, we have the invocation and pledge by Commissioner Hewitt. We'll have the consent agenda approval. We have commendations for Sheriff Tim Cameron, Commissioner Todd Morgan, and Commissioner John O'Connor. Department of Public Works and Transportation will present a decision on the solid waste plan updates. The Office of the County Attorney will present 2023 legislative proposals. We have County Administrator time, Commissioner time, and then a closed session scheduled to discuss real property. On Tuesday, December 6th, we have the invocation and pledge by Commissioner Alderson, approval of the consent agenda. Office of the County Attorney will present the FY 2023 legislative proposals for a vote. County Administrator time, Commissioner time, and a closed session for personnel and litigation. The meeting will adjourn and then reconvene at 1:30 for the Department of Finance's budget work session. And then going back to the County Administrator agenda for today, we have the Department of Finance and the Board of Education presenting a request approval for FY 2023 restricted fund budget increase, the Apprenticeship Maryland program.
Good morning, Commissioners. I have with me Bonnie Kelly and Mike Egan, who will be discussing the FY 23 apprenticeship program for Maryland with the BA for $150,000.
Hi, thank you very much. My name is Bonnie Kelly. I am on the Vocational Support Services team at the Forest Center, and next to me is Mr. Mike Egan. He is our principal. So we are here today to talk about Apprenticeship Maryland, which is a program we started in 2019. It's an effort between the Tucson Partnership, the Forest Center, the Strategic Education Office at NAWCAD is also involved, and it's what we're working with is high school seniors, getting them out in the community and the industry and getting them into positions. So the Tucson Partnership helps us with getting the contractors and the government places on base. We have a lot of places that have contacted us directly also that we set up. The kids come in, they're, like I said, mostly senior, well, they're all seniors because we feel at that point that they're ready to go into an apprenticeship. They work for 450 hours, and we're hoping the end result is a job, a placement once they're done. It's not guaranteed, but that is our hope. We are working with the STEM fields, of course, with the base, but we also work with all the other fields our school system has. We want to make this broad for all different students. So we find out where there's a work need, and in the past couple years, there's been a lot of work needs. So they come to us or TPP, and we get them on board with apprenticeship, and then we start placing students. It is, AMP, Apprenticeship Maryland, is an approved program through MSDE. So Maryland State Department of Education has approved this as a completer program. So the students are not only working, earning minimum wage, they're earning high school credits towards graduation also. We're doing it here with the CTE, the Career and Technology Center. Someday maybe expand to the other schools, but right now we're focusing on getting it done through CTE. And Apprenticeship Maryland is supporting a lot of the Blueprint for Maryland requirements. So several of them for career and technology education are certifications and apprenticeships. So we are supporting that already for the Blueprint. We started the program in 2019, and we had 6 kids out. We wanted to start small. We didn't want to rush this and not have it work out. Unfortunately, COVID hit, and we had to pull them all back in. But it was started off as a pilot program in 2019, and we called it Tech Jobs Rule. By the end of 2019, end of the 2019-2020 school year, we had been approved by MSDE as an Apprenticeship Maryland county. So we got the full approval at that point and put into the full program. Now, the next school year, we could only get 5 apprentices out, and that was on both sides. We had students that weren't ready to go out and work, and we had businesses that didn't have people that could mentor or were in their offices. But I can say that year we were one of the very few counties in the state that had apprentices out at all. Most of the counties did not. And then we progressed from there, and as I mentioned, we wanted to grow this slow because we wanted to do it properly. So we had 20 students out last year in 21-22. This year, actually our slide is a little bit off because I just placed 2 more. We have 41 students out in the community, including county government, out in the community working. And because of the way SMCPS, or St. Mary's County, is set up on year-long classes, those are the last 2. We can't take any more this year because they won't be able to get their 450 hours in. We have 35 approved employers that we're working with. We really want to expand that. We really want to get more students and more employers involved. So we're relying on our community, our employers, to help us. We have several ways of working with the employers. Like I said, the Patuxent Partnership, gives the contact for us for a lot of base contacts. NAWCAD helps us with that. We have 2 students at Pax River this year and 3 or 4 down at Wolf that are actually on the bases working. The Department of Economic Development has been great in helping us schedule some field trips and get the kids excited about different jobs. And then we do have employers that contact the school directly and talk to me. And in the past, they would contact us looking for employees, and I'd put the word out and they had to wait till we were 18 or high school graduates. But now I try and convert them to apprenticeship employers, which has been pretty successful. Again, we all know that there's issues with jobs and getting people to work, so it has been very successful. We have students in a broad range of industries. County government has the museum division has 5, I think, of our students working for them. We have St. Mary's County Public Schools, I'm thrilled to say, homegrown, we're growing our own, and we have 5 or 6 in St. Mary's County Public Schools, along with the manufacturing industries, the excavating contracting industry. We have restaurants and hotels, which we added on this year. We really would like to grow those more because we have a culinary and hospitality classes that we work with. Electrical companies are a big one, and we want to grow, we want to expand, and that's why we're here today, is because we need help to do that, additional funding to do that. Thank you. So we did include a few pictures, and I love these. The gentleman with the welding mask on at Platform Aerospace is actually one of our apprentices from last year who worked at Platform, got hired on at Platform. We just did a field trip there, and he was right there guiding the kids around, so he's very excited. He's done very well. And then next to him is one of our current Platform apprentices. The front porch is a fun one. The girl in red is actually our apprentice, and the woman standing next to her was a culinary student who has gone on to get her baking degree at the American Culinary Institute, and now she's managing the front porch. So we have our own alums that are actually working with our apprentices, and we see this actually in a lot of the businesses we go into. And then, J. Brown Excavating, WM Davis, our students have been very successful. They have hired every single apprentice they've had. So they've had several apprentices last year, they've hired them, and this year they love them, and they're ready to hire them on. So it's going very well. Leonardtown Collision Center, we just added as a new employer. They are the most recent employer we added on, and we already have a student placed there.
Wow, tremendous.
So as you can see, there's a letter from TPP. They are offering, they received a grant to give us $150,000 to help support a full-time 12-month position as an apprenticeship coordinator and a secretary to help with that. There's a lot to this program. I have a lot of job duties, and right now we have 41 students, and I'm maxed. I can't do anything else. So
41 students in the AMP program now?
yes.
And you expand to up to 50 more?
We would like up to 30 more in the first year. We'd like to expand.
Thank you.
Yes.
We'll go to 71.
That would be nice, yeah. And this would be for next year, because like I said, we're done taking students this year. There's just no way at this point they'll get 450 hours if we try and place them now before they graduate in May. So this is what we're doing now. In fact, 2 weeks ago, we started recruiting students for the 23-24 school year. And that's a position we would like is for someone to help us get out in the community and recruit employers also. We have a good batch. We have several that have been with us since 2019 when we did the pilot, and they take students every single year. But we really want to expand. Right now we have 14 programs participating. We have out of 21. We would love to be able to expand into some of these other programs. Academy of Health, for sure. We have the dental assisting, we have the CCMA and the Academy of Health programs, natural resources. We have several other programs that could really benefit from this program, and they need employees. There's definitely a pathway. We just need the people to help us recruit employers. I work inside the school getting the students recruited. Once we get the interest from the students in the spring, we work on them with their resumes. We work on them how to do interviews. The employers are the ones that do the hiring. They interview the students, and then they choose who they want to work for them. So it's all based on what the employers are looking for after they interview. And then we place the students. Students can start after the last day of school. So we had several students, especially in the construction industry, that started on June 17th, I think, this year, and they worked, but they love it. They're making money. So they worked all summer long. A couple of our students have already gotten their 450 for the year because they started and worked 40 hours a week all summer long. It just depends on the business. The employers can have control over that. Okay. So that is the letter from the Patuxent Partnership saying they have the $150,000 that they would like to transfer over to SMCPS. So it'll be $150,000 budget increase for this school year. So we're asking that you approve that increase so that we can hire a coordinator and a secretary to help us grow this program to benefit St. Mary's County.
I think this is great. I'm a huge fan of apprenticeships. There's been a big push for them in the state of Maryland, and especially when you talk about the skilled trades, and it gives those students such a huge jump start and making money, learning the skills, helping our community, fulfilling the needs that are out there. It's a really good move.
Tell me, I see there's $150,000 being provided by the Patuxent Partnership, and that's a wonderful thing. But I see it's going towards mid-level administration and fixed charges. Is any of it going to materials or supplies or anything for the students?
Really, it's not. Materials and supplies, there are very few that we've had to provide. And actually, recently we just had one, the Patuxent Partnership provided it. Okay. so they help us in other ways.
So it's creating a new position?
This is creating a new position and a secretary to help us with that. I'm doing it right now. Patuxent Partnership does have a part-time employee that is my partner, and she's out Part of this program is we monitor the students. So every 30 to 35 days, she meets with every single student, so that's 41 students, and their mentors to review how it's going, make sure we don't need, if there's anything that needs to be addressed. So she's doing that every 30 to 35 days. So what we really need is this position to help get more employers, be able to expand the program so that we can add more students to the
And
program.
if that funding doesn't get recurred, what happens to the funding if it doesn't recur from the partnership?
I believe, and I'm not positive, I believe this is a 2-year grant that they've earned, and they have said that they are, if this is successful and they can get it approved, they are more than willing to go after more grants to continue
let's
this.
hope it-
This is something that they're very passionate about, and the workforce development and education are the 2 things that they do. So they're very passionate about helping us with
Good,
this.
thank you.
Yes.
This is a great program, and I tell you, I deal very much with MACO up in Annapolis. I'm on the Board of Trustees there. But anyway, many of the arts of the state are envy of what we have here. Believe me, they are. To have a high school level type of program like this, and then plus have a community college right here that also does the same thing, building our tech center up in Hughesville. It's a tremendous program, and I appreciate everything y'all do for that. And back in 94, 95, I used some of your plumbers. As you were training, because I had a business, pool and spa business, and I needed somebody who knew how to weld pipe together, and do something about plumbing. And now they didn't realize how much work they got into. I didn't have a lot of reoccurring. After a couple of years, they figured, this guy works too damn hard.
Yeah.
They had to do a little digging and things like that. They didn't like too much, but it was a good program to have somebody come on board that knew how to weld together PVC pipe and knew what a number 3 type of screwdriver. When you asked for number 3 Phillips, they knew what we were doing. So just simple things like that, you just don't realize how nice it is to have some training like that. So I do appreciate this.
Thank you.
I guess the only way to one-up St. Mary's County is try and take a trip to the Super Bowl, huh?
Yes, yeah, that's what they're doing.
I did
If
forget
the Bills are going, we better think about that.
Well, listen, I know the Redskins did pretty good last night. I mean, sorry, the Commanders. I'm sorry.
Superintendent's a Bills fan, he's sitting right there, okay?
That's it.
I did forget to mention, toot our own horn, is that we are the number 2 county in the state in apprenticeship right now.
Awesome.
And considering we are one of the smaller counties, the number 1 county has 7 high schools. So, yeah, we're number 2. So
And this position will get us to number 1.
I'm hoping.
Good.
I'm going to move to approve the Board of Education's request for an FY 2023 restricted fund budget increase for the Apprenticeship Maryland program.
Second.
I have a first and second. All in favor? Aye. Any disapproval? Ayes have it. Thank you all very much for all your work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The next item is from the Department of Public Works and Transportation, FDR Boulevard, Phase 3B, Patuxent Corporate Center Fee Easement Acquisition. Jim Gotch, Director, presenting.
And you're popular today.
Just out of order. Okay, so this is for your approval for fee simple property acquisition and temporary construction easements that we need to obtain to build FDR Boulevard Phase 3B. So there is 23 property owners that we are negotiating with, trying to get the right-of-way established in any of the off-site grading easements that we need to get from Buck Hewitt Road to Peg Road. And that's where we are now. We have 15 parcels, including what we're looking at today. There's 2 parcels, the same property owner. So that would get us to 65% of the right-of-way that we need to acquire. So the Patuxent Corporate Center, where the Navy Federal Credit Union is, has an entrance that comes into their site, and then it's a recorded right-of-way back to FDR Boulevard. It switches from a right-of-way to an easement, and that was already recorded. And so when we are widening, right now it's the narrow road back behind the Coles and the Navy Federal. When we widen to the FDR Boulevard, like you see on the rest of it, we need to acquire some of their frontage. So we did an appraisal. me see if I have a date, June 24th, 2021. And our appraiser made a recommendation of a fee simple price and the easement price. We presented that to the property owner, and they counteroffered. And so we took the counteroffer in a closed session to you guys in July 26 of 2022. We recountered back to them. They accepted that offer. We came back in the closed session again to make sure everybody was still on the same page. And so that's the offer that we're presenting to you today. The fee simple property acquisition is at $7 a square foot. And between the two properties, we have about 9,000 square feet of permanent acquisition. And then we have a fee simple easement, which is 20% of the $7 per square foot. And that's a little over 7,000 square feet. So the total acquisition and easement fee that would be due to the Patuxent Corporate Center is $75,208. And what we're asking for is for your approval to make that happen, to sign the option contract.
I move to approve the option contract between the Commissioner of St. Mary's County and Patuxent Corporate Center LLC in the amount of $75,208 and allow for a future access from Patuxent Center Way to FDR Boulevard to be designed and constructed by the Patuxent Corporate Center LLC at their expense, and authorize Commissioner President to sign all related documents.
Second.
Discussion. When can we expect 3A to, they're moving quite well on that, but when should we expect that to be
Finished up July of 2023.
Okay, so 3A is July?
Yeah.
And if we were to get everything in line, when will we expect this? Is that 25, 26?
The goal is actually by the end of 2024.
Okay, good.
But you know, we've got 15 of the 23 properties, so that's the biggest delay. We've got, we're doing what we can out there. Washington Gas is moving their utility. So we're doing everything we can for the setup so that when we acquire all the property, we can just roll right through it.
Good.
Good. Any other questions, Commissioner? I have first and second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Thank you.
The next item is from the Department of Aging and Human Services, the FY 2023 Senior Care Notification of Grant Award. Lori Jennings Harris, Director Presenting, and Rebecca Kessler, Home and Community-Based Services Division Manager.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Thank you, Ms. Bratson. So, as pointed out, this is a notification of grant award for the Senior Care Program for fiscal year '23, and the award amount is $162,235. And this program helps to maintain older adults 65 and older in their home for a longer period of time. And we provide such support as personal care, emergency response systems, and medical supplies.
So it appears this grant is higher than you initially anticipated.
It is. It's much higher than we got last year.
That's good. I move to approve the Senior Care Grant Award, Project MD 2303, from Maryland Department of Aging on behalf of the Department of Aging and Human Services in the amount of $162,235, and the related budget amendment, and authorize the Commissioner President execute the related documents.
Second.
I have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any disapprovals? Ayes have it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
The Office of the County Attorney is the next to present an addendum to the Leonardtown Library lease agreement. Buffy Giddens, Deputy County Attorney, presenting.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm here to present the addendum to the library lease. The library moved from Hollywood Road to Hayden Farm Lane, and as such, the agreement for the lease needs to be updated. We are looking to change the address and legal description of the library, and the other amendment would change the percent of utilities that they are responsible to pay, which would be 57%, since they're sharing that building.
Seems fair.
Any questions?
Move to approve the addendum to the Leonardtown Library lease agreement, authorize Commissioner President Guy to execute the related documents.
Second.
I have a first and second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Gibbons, that was an easy one.
Intro.
Intro, that's intro. There you go.
And that concludes County Administrator time.
Okay, we'll go right into Commissioner's time. We'll start with Commissioner Hewitt.
Thank you, Commissioner President. Well, last Tuesday, we didn't have a meeting because we had elections. And I want to congratulate everybody who won. To people who weren't successful, I would say, look, keep trying. We need people to run for office. We need, what was kind of interesting to this commissioner was there was really only 7 local offices that were contested, and I would have hoped there have been more. Lord knows people need choices, and new ideas are welcome. And for those who weren't successful, hopefully you'll be involved in our boards and our commissions and get more involved in government. I'll use the term, you put your foot in the water, you took the first step. Please stay involved and stay active. The other thing I would say is to all those who did get elected, look, we got work to do. We got 4 more years. We got job to do. We got to show up, roll our sleeves up. There'll be some of these commissioners moving on, and good luck when your future endeavors and where you go. And lastly, thank you for all the support I received in the election. And it's not about me, but it's about this is over. Thank God. Now we don't have a meeting next week. It's Thanksgiving. It's amazing that here it is getting cold already, and last week it was just 70, 71, 73 degrees. It was amazing. It felt great. But now fall is upon us. Leaves are about gone. Thanksgiving's here. We're going to be into Christmas before we know it. New Year, budget season. Look, we've got a lot to do. Thank you.
Eric.
Very good. Got a bunch of different things I want to touch on briefly this morning. It's been a busy couple weeks. First off, 2 weeks ago, we were at the Hollywood Volunteer Rescue Squad for their installation of officers. It was a great evening. Want to thank everyone for inviting us. Congratulations to all the new officers, all the people who participate in that. Congratulations to their auxiliary who raised $50,000 that they gave to their department. It was just absolutely incredible. And then this past week, we were at Bay District Volunteer Fire Department for their installation of officers. Another great evening, a great meal with them, a lot of good time. And congratulations to Keith Fairfax, who was recognized for 65 years of service with that department. That's absolutely incredible, and he's still incredibly active and does a lot for our community. So congratulations, Mr. Fairfax. Thank you for all you do. Veterans Day. We have the biggest parade in the state, probably on the East Coast, and it got rained out, but we were still able to host in Leonardtown in their town offices a very nice ceremony for Veterans Day. Some great speeches. If you've never stayed after the parade for the ceremony, they always have speeches from 5th graders at Leonardtown Elementary School and Captain Walter Francis Duke Elementary School, and they did a wonderful job just what Veterans Day means to them. So thank you to all of them. Now that the election is over, thank you for everyone who participated in it, but I'd like to take a second and comment on just something I've observed over the past couple years, just this change in our society where we've gone to this place where people are expected to agree with you 100% and share your same level of passion, or you are wrong and dead to them, and it's not a good place to be. And I see it on both sides. Of course, I see it a little more on the opposite side of the aisle from me coming at me, but I think everybody's probably experienced it. And I mean, I had a friend who approached me who she was upset that I didn't use the same language as her and the same passion as her about something she was upset about, and she walked away in a huff and said she was disappointed in me. And it's just not right that we've gone to this place where it used to be considered the loyal opposition, but now it's you're totally wrong. We can't even see that there's a different point of view, and that's not good. It's something we need to be aware of. Have conversations. That's what makes our society and government work, is being able to have that conversation and talk to people who have different views from you, and we're better off for it. Coming up this weekend, the Airport Fly-In Farmers Market this Sunday. It's a great time. If you've never been out to it, go check it out. And I think Hollywood Fire Department has their craft show, which is just massive, so check that out too. Most importantly, happy anniversary today to my parents, Scott and Camille Colvin. It is their wedding anniversary. Congratulations to you both, and happy Thanksgiving next week. Thank you all.
Thank you, Eric. John?
Thank you. Yeah, Eric, you made a really valid point when you're talking about opinions, freedom of speech, and then, having to agree 100%. And I've looked at it from a lot of perspectives, not only in this election, but through serving in this capacity, amongst others. But it comes a point in time where it almost feels as if one's opinion outweighs your freedom of speech to object to that and have a sensible conversation, as an agreement is the only way for it to happen. And past that point, any objection to that viewpoint is then deemed offensive. So the conversation deteriorates and shuts down, and you don't have any progress. But you have watched it happen. It's a pretty profound statement on that one, and hopefully we can recover from that somehow as we move on as a society, and we can have civil discourse once again. We have, I'm glad it's finally getting cold out. I enjoy the summertime, but I'll take the cooler weather any day, although I will say going from 80 degrees down to 32 degrees was something else, so to speak. But with that being said, as it does get colder, please make sure that you're checking on your family members, seniors, those that are out there, heating fuel oil, anything that they may need as these temperatures drop, because it can be unexpected, and I do want to say that the employees here in county government do go above and beyond, and don't realize how much they do check in on our citizens and help them. So I do thank them for that service. And happy Thanksgiving. We won't be meeting next week. Enjoy Thanksgiving. And if you're going to get a turkey, do so now, if you already haven't done it, because supply, demand, all the everything that's been going on in the economy, turkeys are difficult to get, and the prices have gone up significantly. So they are hard to get even for the food giveaways, and I'm hoping that Mike is able to get his turkeys
taken care of.
Perfect. All right, good, because that's really important in the community. So we have one source for amazing turkeys that are going to be given out to take care of some families. That's all I got, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not a whole lot more to say. Election results are in. I want to thank everybody who participated. I think, as the other commissioners have said, the visceral environment that has been created is toxic. Everybody's got to take a deep breath, chill, relax. The world will keep going on, and you don't have to sit. As I've said, you play football, and it's a bad weekend for you as a Buffalo Bills fan. Believe me, it's a bad weekend. But, you can play the game between the 30-yard lines. But if you got to get in the red zone and live in the red zone, that's where the environment takes us. And if you watch the news thrives on playing in the red zone, because that's where they antagonize and get really upset. So just go back to the middle, realize that, the majority of the people want to live in the middle, and if you ignore the news in the red zone, you're probably going to be better off at the end of the day. The Veterans Day parade was canceled. I felt bad it would be the 13th one. Maybe that's a good number for me to miss. But c'est la vie. I want to thank and congratulate the Academy grads that are still sitting here. You got to go through 9 weeks of classes and learning about the thing, and now you're going to sit through a commission meeting. Good on you guys. As they talked about Thanksgiving coming up, Mike Spikes, my boy Schwartz. Schwartz every year has a fantastic drive for feed everybody at Thanksgiving and Christmas. He buys turkeys, not one or two, buys them by the hundreds. And then we distribute them to everybody. So as you're giving up on this Giving Tuesday coming up, don't forget Mike Schwartz. Down on Great Mills Road, it's Mike Spikes, and Schwartz does one hell of a job making sure that hundreds of people are fed and are given turkeys. And if you haven't seen the operation before, I'm not going to say where he's getting the turkeys this year, because it's been tough. Been really tough on him to find turkeys. But when you have that distribution, hundreds of people line up in cars. They will bring, for food people in the north, they'll come down in trucks and have names, and you get potatoes, vegetables, and a turkey. And it's just a great community service that Mike's been doing for probably well over 20 years right now. So Schwartz and I go back 40 years, Rangers all the way. Commissioner Coleman talked about the Hollywood Volunteer Rescue Squad. That was a great event. I also want to thank the Ridge Volunteer Fire Department Auxiliary. If you're not familiar with them, every election year, you get stuffed ham sandwiches and chicken salad sandwiches. And they go out of their way to make sure that they sell a lot of sandwiches to support the auxiliary down there, which supports the Ridge Volunteer Fire Department. I went down, got my 12 chicken salads, my 12 stuffed ham sandwiches, and then distributed them to people at the polls on Election Day. And finally, I want to just sit there and say to everybody, Happy Thanksgiving. Be careful out there when you're driving. It's going to be cold. There's going to be a lot of traffic. And with that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioners. Yeah, I went to the Bay District Fire Department's sworn in the officers. Myself and Eric were there to watch the ceremony and have a good, really great dinner. It was some kind of good. And but I want to shout out to all the volunteers who are there. I appreciate all your hard work. Thank you for volunteering. This is a great community for volunteerism. We've had a little problem over the COVID thing, but still, I can see that the spirit is still there and it's very strong within the fire departments. So thank you all very much for volunteering for the fire department and rescue squads that we do have in our county, and the citizens definitely appreciate it. I also want to shout out to, like Colvin has said and John has said about the difference in point of, as far as our opinions about things. Yeah, we're all different, no doubt about it, but we need to respect each other and keep an open dialogue on that. And one of the things I always say to everybody is nice matters. It really does. And if we deal that way and work together, I think we'll find out we'll be better off and get things done. And everybody may not get exactly what they want, but close to it. We can't satisfy everybody out there, but we do our best. We're here for all of the citizens of St. Mary's County. And that's my job, is to do the best I can to provide you the best services. And that's what I do. And the people who did come out and vote this year, I still am disappointed that we don't have more. The voting has become so easy throughout this country. I mean, I just can't believe we have a better turnout. I don't care if you write in or you early vote or come to the poll on the 8th of November. I'm just surprised we don't have a better turnout. And but I appreciate those who did come out. And I assure you that this new Board of Commissioners, starting on the 6th of December, will be ready to hit the ground running and will do a good job for the county. With that, I need somebody to get us into closed session.
I move to enter into closed session to discuss litigation.
Second.
I have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.